Shalom. He who has an ear to hear, let him hear what the RAUCH HA'QODESH is saying. In today's study, we will look into the rib, aka the woman. The importance of the role of a woman. How she has the power to build up her house or tear it down. Which brings to remembrance Proverbs 14:1, which states, "Every wise woman builds her house, but the foolish pluck it down with her hands." All that power should not be taken lightly, but handled with care. Hallelujah. Let's get into it. Now, as you can see, this is a Facebook post made by me on December 16th, 2018. And it's pertaining to the topic at hand, the woman, aka the rib. Let's get into it. The ribs play a very important role in the body. They protect your vital organs, most significantly, your heart. The ribs are the main line of defense that prevents you from getting your heart broken. A woman could either help a man's journey or hinder it. That depends upon what you, the man, are feeding her mind. Are you, as a man, helping her grow into a woman? Or are you encouraging her young lady-like mentality, childish ways? Truth. Women need men, and a man needs a woman. This is why society has been trying so hard to keep the man and woman separated, because the union between the two that becomes one is destiny, and also powerful. Man plus woman equals family, and family plus family and families equal a nation. Underneath that, you have the rib, which takes us to Genesis 2:21. And Yahuwah Elohim caused a deep sleep to fall upon Adam, and he slept. And he took one of his ribs and closed up the flesh instead thereof. And the rib, which Yahuwah Elohim had taken from man, made he the woman, and brought her unto the man. Help me. Now, if you are receiving help from someone, first off, they meet you halfway. Second, you would need someone of equal strength. Proverbs 31:17. So, no one's lesser than the other, but there is an order. Without order, there is chaos. Foundation, male and female created he them. House. Making one home. And that would take us to Genesis 2:18. And Elohim said, "It is not good that man should be alone. I will make him and help meet for him." It is not good for man to be alone, equaling all one. Man is not equipped with a womb. So, the Most High built a wombed man or woman. 1 Timothy 2:13. For Adam was first formed, then Eve. Order. From there, we'll get into the good or bad. The woman can help or hurt herself, depending upon who she is receiving her instructions from. Virtuous woman, Proverbs 31, verses 10 to 31. The definition of virtuous: having or showing high moral standards. And underneath that, you see Proverbs 18 and 22. Whoso findeth a wife finds a good thing, and obtains favor of Yahuwah. Proverbs 31 and 25. Strength and honor are her clothing, and she shall rejoice in time to come. Proverbs 31 and 11. The heart of her husband safely trust in her, so that he shall have no need of spoil. And there is the rib cage protecting the heart, by not having her man chasing the spoils of the world. Hallelujah. And from there we'll go to Proverbs 12 and 4, which reads, a virtuous woman is a crown to her husband, but she that makes a shame is as rottenness in his bones. Underneath that, here's some more bad. Ecclesiastes 7 and 26. And I find more bitter than death the woman whose heart is snares and nets, and her hands as bands. Whosoever pleases Elohim shall escape from her, but the sinner shall be taken by her. Women are very important in our lives. And we should treat them as such, respectively. Choose wisely, good or bad. Your call, women. If you choose good, don't look to the right or to the left. Focus on the narrow path, the journey at hand, the Most High. In other words, take the high road, the one less traveled. Live to inspire. Virtuous and strong women. Here's some examples. Read Judges chapter 4, Deborah. Read Esther chapter 7. Exodus chapter 2, verses 1 to 10, you'll see Miriam. And in Acts chapter 21, verses 8 to 9, the 4 women which did prophesy. And the list goes on. Where is Big Mom, that respectable woman? All praises to the Most High, Yahuwah. Shed light on life. Now, let's get into the good. The virtuous woman, Proverbs 31, verses 10 to 31, which reads, the virtuous woman. Who can find a virtuous woman? For her price is far above rubies. The heart of her man safely trusts in her, so that he shall have no need of spoil. She will do him good and not evil all the days of her life. She seeks wool and flax and works willingly with her hands. She is like the merchant ships. She brings her food from afar. She rises also while it is yet night, and gives meat to her household, and a portion to her handmaidens. She considers a field and buys it. With the fruit of her hands she plants a vineyard. She girds her loins with strength, and strengthens her arms. She perceives that her merchandise is good. Her candles goes not out by night. She lays her hands to the spindle, and her hands holds the distaff. She stretches out her hand to the poor. Yeah, she reaches forth her hand to the needy. She is not afraid of the snow for her household, for all her household are clothed with scarlet. She makes herself coverings of tapestry. Her clothing is silk and purple. Her man is known in the gates when he sits amongst the elders of the land. She makes fine linen and sells it, and delivers belts unto the merchants. Strength and honor are her clothing, and she shall rejoice in the time to come. She opens her mouth with wisdom, and in her tongue is the Torah of kindness, or law of kindness. She looks well to the way of her household, and eats not the bread of idleness. Her children arise up and call her blessed. Her man also, and he praise her. Many daughters have done virtuously, but you excel them all. Favor is deceitful, and beauty is vain. But a woman that fears Yahuwah, she shall be praised. Give her the fruit of her hands, and let her own works praise her in the gates. Hallelujah. Now, you could take a moment and screenshot this photo for the rest of the precepts. I only will pick out a few precepts and go into it. And I will start off with Proverbs 31 and 10. Who can find a virtuous woman? For her price is far above rubies. We will jump down to verse 19 and 14. Remember, precepts are done line upon line, here a little and there a little. And if you search for the letter K within the verse, it'll correlate you with the letter K in the precepts. The first two we went over. The last verse we haven't. So we'll go in, we'll focus in on that one. And the topic at hand is who can find a virtuous woman? For her price is far above rubies. And that go with Proverbs 19 and 14, which states, houses and riches are the inheritance of fathers, and a prudent wife is from Yahuwah. Hallelujah. And from there, we'll precept Proverbs 31 and 15, which states, she rises also while it is yet night, and gives meat to her house whole, and a portion to her maidens. And this verse is broken down into two sections, with only two verses as precepts. The first half of the verse, line upon line, here a little and there a little. She raises also while it is yet night, and not slothful in business, fervent in ruach, spirit, serving Yahuwah. Hallelujah. Second portion of the verse, gives meat to her household, and a portion to her maidens. And that will take us to Luke 12 and 42, which reads, and Yahuwah said, who then is that faithful and wise steward, whom his Adonai or Lord shall make ruler over his household, to give them their portion of meat in due season. Hallelujah. And that is manna from the heavens. Once again, hallelujah. This is the bad. Warning against unchastity. Proverbs chapter 5, verses 1 to 23. Unchaste, lacking moral discipline, especially sexually unrestrained. Warning against unchastity. Proverbs 5, 1 to 23. And it reads, My son, attend unto my wisdom, and bow your ear to my understanding, that you may regard discretion, and that your lips may guard knowledge. For the lips of a strange woman drop as a honeycomb, and her mouth is smoother than oil. But her end is bitter as wormwood, sharp as a two-edged sword. Her feet go down to death. Her steps take hold on Sheol. Lest you should ponder the path of life. Her ways are immovable, that you cannot know them. Hear me now, therefore, O ye children, and depart not from the words of my mouth. Remove your way far from her, and come not nigh the door of her house, lest you give your honor unto others, and your years unto the cruel. Lest strangers be filled with your wealth, and your labors be in the house of strangers, and your mourning at the last, when your flesh and your body are consumed. And say, how have I hated instruction, and my heart despised reproof, and not obeying the voice of my teachers, nor inclining my ear to them that instructed me. I was almost in all evil in the midst of a multitude, an assembly. Drink waters out of your own cistern, and running waters out of your own well. Lest your fountains be dispersed abroad, and rivers of waters in the streets. Let them be only your own, and not strangers with you. Let your fountain be blessed, and rejoice with the woman of your youth. Let her be as a loving hide and pleasant roe, and let her breast satisfy you at all times, and be you ravished away always with her love. And why will you, my son, be ravished with a strange woman, and embrace the bosom of a stranger? For the ways of man are before the eyes of Yahweh, and he ponders all his goings. His own iniquities shall take the wicked himself, and he shall be held with the cords of his sin. He shall die without instruction, and in the greatness of his folly he shall go astray. Hallelujah. Now we will precept Proverbs 5 and 12, and that is pertaining to and say, how have I hated instruction, and my heart despised reproof. First part of the verse pertains to C, hated instruction, and my heart. And that goes with Proverbs 1:29, which states, for that they hated knowledge and did not choose the fear of Yahuwah. Now we'll move on to D, which is the second part of the verse, despise reproof. But ye have set at naught all my counsel, and would none of my reproof. Whoso loveth instruction loveth knowledge, but he that hateth reproof is brutish. Hallelujah. Now those last two verses are found in Proverbs chapter 1:25 and Proverbs chapter 12 and verse 1. Hallelujah. Now as you see, with a woman that is not of the Father, or male that is not of the Father, hate instructions and hate to be corrected. Or should I say can't stand to be corrected. And only a fool despises or hates instructions. Let's move on. The command to obtain wisdom. Proverbs chapter 4, verses 1 to 27. So far, we have took a look into the good and also the bad. Now I want to take a look into the beautiful. Because those that are of the Father will take heed to instructions. Those that are of the world will be stiff-necked and hard-headed, despising instruction. As he would say, dull of hearing. Hallelujah. Now we'll get into the command to obtain wisdom. Proverbs chapter 4, verses 1 to 27. And it reads, hear, ye children, the instruction of a father, and attend to know understanding. For I give you good doctrine. Forsake ye not my Torah. For I was my father's son, tender and the only, your child, or beloved son, in the sight of my mother. He taught me also, and said unto me, let your heart retain my words, guard my commandments, and live. Get wisdom, get understanding, forget it not, neither decline from the words of my mouth. Forsake her not, and she shall guard you. Love her, and she shall keep you. Wisdom is the principal thing. Therefore, get wisdom, and with all you're getting, get understanding. Exalt her, and she shall promote you. She shall bring you to honor. When you embrace her, she shall give to your head an ornament of grace, a crown of glory shall she deliver you. Hear, O my son, and receive my saying. And the years of your life shall be many. I have taught you in the way of wisdom. I have led you in the right paths. When you go, your steps shall not be straightened. And when you run, you shall not stumble. Take fast hold of instruction. Let her not go. Guard her, for she is your life. Enter not into the path of the wicked, and go not into the way of evil men. Avoid it. Pass not by it. Turn from it, and pass away. For they sleep not, except they have done mischief, and their sleep is taken away, unless they cause some to fall. For they eat the bread of wickedness, and drink the wine of violence. But the path of the just is as the shining light that shines more and more unto the perfect day. The way of the wicked is darkness. They know not at what they stumble. My son, attend to my words, incline your ear unto my sayings. Let them not depart from your eyes. Guard them in the midst of your heart, for they are life unto those that find them, in health to all their flesh. Keep your heart with all diligence, for out of it are the issues of life. Put away from you a forward mouth, and perverse lips put far from you. Let your eyes look right on, and let your eyelids look straight before you. Ponder the paths of your feet, and let all your ways be established. Turn not to the right hand, nor to the left. Remove your foot from evil. Hallelujah. Conclusion. As you can see, the Father gives you understanding of the characteristics of a woman that walks on the path of light, knowledge, and a woman who walks on the path of darkness, ignorance. He shows you the outcome of both paths, one that leads to instruction and life, and one that leads to destruction and death. You, as a woman, have free will to choose which path you will travel, but it is important that you choose wisely. Why? Because the outcome is permanent. As Yahuwah stated, who can find a virtuous woman? Her price is far above rubies. From my understanding, virtuous women are highly valued in the eyes of Yah. Therefore, women, you must become a student of life. We have all been students at one point in our lives, and we understand that the student who took heed or listened in the classroom finished the class with an A, and those who were stiff-necked and hard-headed finished the class with an F. So, I'll leave you with this. Self-control or no self-control? That is the question at hand. I want to say thank you to the Father for sending his great example in Adonai Yahushua HaMashiach, and all praises to Yahuwah Eloheka, interpreted your Yah, singular person. Shed light on life, and shalom.